You happy? And shalom everyone, shalom. I want to welcome everyone to the King James Bible University Precept Mastery, and I'm Elder Michael Johnson with the Fellowship of Israel, and today we have an interesting teaching. I know a lot of people have been waiting back and forth to get into this teaching, however we've been copied so much too, where people try to teach behind as soon I do something they try to teach behind it, so what I've decided to start doing is the main thing is once we teach then they teach, we move they move. So the easiest way that we seem to do this is see some of them started doing this, but then it got a little hiccup in the middle because we didn't do it for the past 2 weeks. So they came up with excuse. You can go to some of them channels, they come with some excuse to where they wanted to kind of change things, but I said we making sure people know where they're getting this information. So when people see the times and the dates on things that's being changed, they see when we move. They people move when we teach, then they teach, so it show you where they're getting the formation from and showing you more, so they're not being UPF from and honest with you. However we're going to be going through this Psalm 119 and we're going through each of the letters of the Paleo Hebrew to show you exactly what is being said and why are they being used. That's the key to all these things here. So we're going through a lot of this, and right now we're going to find out what DLAP mean, and find out how it work now. Also we will be going in the back today. We're gonna be going back in the back today because we got people something this past weekend, something to think about and something that we need to start approaching when we start dealing with spiritual and parables and understanding what they mean. So we will be commencing with that. We're going to be one in the back right after this. You'll see the link down in the description if you're welcome to come back to where you can see and you might get a chance to participate, but we mainly we're going to be looking for the participation of the people who was originally back there. So without saying all this and other things, that was pretty much with all the announcements that I had, but we need to look at the one of delete. We have to look at daily and know what delete mean, because many people have said that a lot of different stuff to where you even see on there you're talking about the tent door and all kinds of stuff to where it have nothing to do with nothing. Are you with me? These things we're going to find out exactly what it's talking about. We're going to find out exactly why he's using these letters and why he's telling you what they are. So we have to find out what this is, what it means, and how it works out, and how it applies to each and every one of us. And we went through already 3 of them. This is the fourth one now. Sama, my wife, asked me today. She telling me, well, I know why you haven't been doing it, she said, but let me give you my explanation. So I told her what my explanation was. And then she said, well, that's what I thought it was. I'm gonna tell you what I thought it was, so I'll share that with you maybe in the back. But she's gonna give me her opinion on what she thought it was, but she just said, well, okay, well, that's what I thought it was, okay, that's fine. So I told her what it was and everything was good, but we got to find out what this point lead is. We got to find out what is how it applies to us, so we're going to read it and then we're going to get into it. And it says, my soul in Dali. We're looking at Psalms 119. Verse 25. So if you have your Bible, you can look at that yourself and you'll see in most people's Bibles dilated actually at the top. It'll show you right there and you see delete and you see, and it says, my soul cleavage to dust quicken down me according to the word. We have to tear this down and find out, but once we understand what the word means, we know why he's saying it. Once we tie the word down, or we know what the word means, now we know what he's saying and why he's saying what he's saying. So this is what we got to find out, because we have been told many times that delete means something else, and we just wasn't being told the truth. But I want you to start writing this down, and we're going to look at this in this fullness. In this delete, it means honor in shame, honor and shame, and with that honor and shame we have to be committed to humble oneself to quickness. According to his words, that's why it's honor and shame delete. We're going to see how all this works out. So we're going to go through some scriptures. We're going to get the better understanding, the full understanding of delete. See if we admit our shame and commit to God which he created us, and we need to have honor and respect to him. Now we're going to look at some things here. We're going to look at Malachi. It's right next to it, right here, Relic chapter 1. We're going to look at verse 5, and it says this. It says, including your eyes shall see. Including ye shall say, the Spirit of God will be magnified. From the border of Israel, so from one end of Israel to the other end of Israel, all the children in Israel, the Spirit of God should be magnified, and is going to tell you why as son honor is the Father, including the servant his master. If then he be you the Spirit of God, if I be a Father, where is my honor? This clear question, you see it's a question mark right there. So this is the thing what he wants to understand and why he put it in something the way David them structured this out. If this is true, which we know it is, then why in the world if he be a father, then where in the world is his honor? In fact, if he be a master, where is his fear, where is his desire, says the Spirit of God of hosts. Unto you priest that despise my name, and is saying despise my way, including ye say. Now we may say what we say, now we getting ready to say what we say, and ye say, where have ye despised your way? You think about that. You think about that. I tell you what, this is why I say think about it. All that you have done, all that we do, all that we have done in the past until today, and we're going to sit there and is saying you have despised my name, but then we're going to sit there saying Lord, where did we do that? When did we do that? We were just having barbecue. Nobody told somebody to bring a pig, somebody else brought the pig, so where did we despise your name? If you didn't want the pig to die, then the pig wouldn't have died, so evidently you wanted us to add a pig. This is what we get into. Because the first thing we always do, we always put it back on him. And we have to remember exactly where exactly. Let's look at something. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We're going to pick it up at verse 20. Ecclesiastes chapter. Actually, before we go there, I thought I forgot I had Jeremiah, because we're going to look at Jeremiah first. In Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 23 it says, this can Ethiopian change your skin? Can the Ethiopian change its skin? No, cannot happen. Have you ever noticed? I'm going to tell you something that they're going to shock a lot of people. It shouldn't be shocked, but it's gonna shock a lot of people. Somebody never just thought about it. Have you ever noticed an Ethiopian tan can he get a tan? People say well they can't. No, he can get burned, can't get tan. He can get burned, can't get tanned, so it goes to the same thing. So if he's sitting there and can he change his skin? No, so it's telling you something. So or a leopard do spot, then he also do good that are accustomed to do evil. This is what we're accustomed to doing. We are accustomed to doing a lot of evil. Why is that? Our soul cleave to dust. We're gonna find out what all why got this in there mixed up this way. We gotta see what's going on here, because we need to straighten up what we're doing, because we was created from the dust. It tells us right here in Genesis chapter 2 and freaking it up at verse 7. It says, in the spirit of the God form man of the dust of the ground, including breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. I want you to think about that, because we are formed from dust and we are formed from ashes. In fact, let's move a little bit more. We're going to move a little bit more down here. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse pick it up at verse 20. And we're going to see more. So what are these all blending, and why we cleave into what we cleave into? Because which we cleave into this, then we cleave them to the wrong thing. But we're going to find all this out together, and it says this in verse 20. It says, all go into one place, all are of dust. In all turn to dust again, every one of us, either we're going to go on the ground and return from the form from which we were, of people wrongfully having people cremated, back to dust and ashes. This is what we do, and this still goes back to the same thing. We all gonna go back to the original form that we was in, the original form that we was originally in, because but our soul is cleaving to this stuff. That's what he was trying to get you to understand. Why are we cleaving to dust in ashes? You see yourself that is going right back to the form from which it originally was, and we cleaved to those things that is dust and ashes. That's what is trying to get you mentally to see. In fact, let's look at something. We're going to put this all together. We're going to wrap this up in a nice little ball for us. We're gonna go to some, then we're gonna go to Psalm 3 to see what what this is all about in 3 verse 14 so some 103 verse 14 it says this for each and every it says for what afraid afraid remember that we are dust. We cleave to this stuff from birth we cleave to this. Why? I'm talking about we it's our own fault we cleave to it so that's why it's sitting there it says. My soul cleaves to dust but you see the semicolon and then it says quicken. Me quicken down me according to the word so quicken is telling you to revive. Make one live through the word in the present state on what we need to be in. Let us look at this all together in Genesis chapter 2 verse 23 it makes everything perfectly clear for us and it's just start clearing everything up for daily everything needs to be cleared up for daily and it says Adam said this is now bone of my bone. You going to be quickened with other than we're going to work all this out because we're going to do some little everything you're going to see some parables happen but we're going to work them all out because it's telling you once this happened don't this happened. Adam said this is now bone of my bone flesh of my flesh she should be called woman because she was taken out of man so our body is of the earth and it's bone. In our dust from the ashes. Why in the world are we cleaving to this if you want to be quickened then it's telling you and making sure that you understand everything clearly to where we can get what's going on. Third you say you want to be quickened in the word you want to be quickened in the word so we got to understand what third is and if you brought forth the woman then we should be one flesh with the woman and the woman is the third which is the body of Christ which is third so all this is all together all clear but we have the biggest problem not seeing what we need to see because we keep putting all confidence in flesh let me show you let me show you what's going on here. I'm going to show you what's going on but most of us still going to have a problem because we cannot get our ways out of our own way. We can't get our own way and understand what the scriptures telling you right in front of you in Revelation chapter 21 we're going to see something that's real clear in verse 2. It says any John once you didn't condemn the flesh which she came to do with John which she came to do with John the condemned who condemned the flesh we're getting it now. Okay but it says I saw the city New Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven prepared a bride adorned for her husband this all need to be torn down real simply like just for us to get what's going on so if the came down from there and it was adorned for her husband so it was naked. Adorned don't mean nothing but declared a covering which is third was supposed to be covering and it's covered the way she can see her husband that's all is saying all the time but we sit there and we want to make this big party over something that makes no sense. That makes no absolute sense third came down adorned as soon as it says the door you should know it was declaring it was a covering which was a word. We can't get our own way third came down and that's only let me go on let me move forward let's look at something let's look at something we're going to go over here to we want to look at Luke and we're going to look at chapter 17 we're going to move over here to verse 21. Verse 21 we got to get set we got to get this in verse 21 it says this it says neither shall they say lower and this is what they say the come down over here but it's a man and they said or lower and it says for behold for remember. The kingdom of God is within you. Why in the world we look in a building because we like to cleave our body to dust? I'm telling you we can't get our own way we cannot get out our own way. We didn't set there the body then come down and the body is there the body of Christ then come down to rest in you and then it won't cover you all sin and then we can see the beauty of the earth that's going through but they sit there with that covering they at it so since they at it they're going to build up their own place in their own building their own things and they're going to teach you something else to where it's going to make the word of God to be hated. Can't tell me they don't do it because they did it. You can't say they didn't do this because they did it. And not only did it we sat in them.
Let me.
First thing we at is people who contradict their own lives well he wasn't in that he was in there. You was in there you know I went in yeah I went in there alone doesn't matter you was in there let us look at this and Ezekiel chapter 16 picking it up at verse 25. Picking it up at 25 and it tell you this. Tell you this right in 25 and we're gonna see this here it says to has built the high place on every head of the way and has made the beauty which was adorned that came down from heaven. You're seeing this now to be bored and that has opened up it to everyone. That pass by to multiply that order is in this coming down. Adorned it was covered it sur covering and now we're going into this house listening to some junk. Listen to the stupidity. Because why so have cleaved unto dust but some of us say don't quicken me some of us don't say quicken me some of us say give me some more. Some of us like to be led to. If anyone still sitting in the church they love to be led to anybody I don't care who you are my mom sitting in my destinies and guess what they cleave the dust and they love to be led to. They love it they can sit there tell you whatever they want to tell you but it's telling you clear a day that the word came down and when the word came down that your covering that was adorned for a husband so that was your covenant what's the word in the kingdom of God is within you. But when you go in those places this thing is set up for you this place is set up for you there's all the people who want to sit there and still hold on to what's there when you look at Malachi Micah we're gonna look at chapter 3 we're gonna pick it up in verse 9 and it says this and it makes it perfectly clear because these are the ones that's in there he says here this he pray you heads of the house of Jacob so he got these people who being the heads of Jacob and the prince of the house of Israel that are judgment they at judgment because why because they sit in there they teaching his beauty to be aboard telling you this right over here in verse 25 it says in every head of the way that made that beauty which is the word of God to be aboard that so these people are they said that aboard judgment and perverted equity this is who they are clear as they use they are because why they want you to cleave to this dust and ashes. And it says they built up Zion with blood, they then built it up with a sinful life, because they're going to tell you in Jerusalem with iniquity, with all types of acts of sin, because they're making you cleave to dust. And as it says it tell us more, it says the head of judge for reward, so they getting paid. And he already said I made agreement with the ones that I have agreement with, that they're going to come out and they ain't going to charge you anything, because he said I'm gonna give you pastor according to my heart, that will feed you with knowledge and understanding. But they sitting there saying no, you need to pay me, no, you need to pay me. The priests thereof teach, for I they hired being hired twice, and it says the prophet thereof defined for money, and the first thing going to keep coming out their mouth are now coming out of your mouth. You sit there yet lean upon, and they lean upon the Spirit of God, and say is not the Spirit of God the most, and none evil can come upon us. As soon as people come upon you, they're going to sit there and tell you Ali in prayer, and then as soon as you get ready to die, they're going to say well, the Lord wanted that way, but she in heaven right now. If she can come back, she wouldn't want to telling you a bold-facedly. So this is why you have to build up, this is why you have to teach them to how you see what the truth is. You want to be quick in the not cleaving the dust, delete. Shame is the dust and honor is the spirit, but let's look at it, let's look at a little more, let's dig a little bit more in this, because we need to understand this all together. So in John we are going to look at chapter 17, John 17, and we are going to pick it up at verse 9, and it says he pray for them. He pray not for the world. He pray for them, he pray not for the world, he pray not for the world, but for them that has given me for their heart in. But it gets better, it says in all mine heart in and in of mine, and I am glorified in them, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world, and I come to the Holy Father, keep them through the one way those whom two has given me, that they may be one. Now we are so is laying exist down, it says even more, while I was yet with them in the world, I kept them in the way those that two has given me I have kept, and none of them are lost, but you go that but. The son of perdition, the son of Satan, that the scriptures might be fulfilled. Every one of them, that's why I sit there and I can say what you can go to any church on the face of this earth and they can tell you whatever they want to tell you, it don't matter, they sitting there and they over that church they going to tell you Ali, because they're going to tell you God is in there, and God already told you we don't dwell in the temple made with, and he told you that, and it's in your Bible. So when you're going in there you will fully sinning, so then when you will fully descend, don't sit there thinking you're gonna stand before God now and say that well God, well I didn't know he's gonna sit there. Read that verse, I mean there a couple of times telling you I don't dwell in building made with him. Read that verse, did you ever read that? Yeah, I read it. Okay, what do that say? You don't dwell in building made with him. Okay, so what did that mean? You don't dwell on building made with him. Okay, so while he was in there, well you said don't forget, don't forsake the seal, and he said okay, we'll tell you what you do. You gonna think about that while you over there in the lake of fire, you got an eternity to think of this stupidity on top of stupidity. You go think about that now. You want to sit there and say I'm contradicting my word. He said don't you assemble yourself until unto condemnation. What do they say here? Well, say you don't dwell on building made with him, so why are you in the building? Well, it says it's got your name on it, you got your name on it. Telling you it's your own damn fault, it's your own fault, it's your own damn fault when you do that. So this is why we go through this suite, says now I come to the in this scene I speak. In the world that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I've given them the word to keep going back to the earth and we looking to be quick and in the earth. We looking to be covered with the earth, but we cleave into dust, in ashes we cleave until the dust. Tell me how much common sense do that make it, says the world have hated them. Because they are not of the world, even I'm not of the world, no it calm down. Hazard. So it says more here, it says more going, look at verse 26, it says I have declared my ways. I have declared my ways. Including tourism, so now you calling you saying you have declared your ways. We're going to put this to the test, we're going to see how much many of us that we didn't put this to the test. So we don't declare our ways, so we sit in there saying, we sit there making a promise to God saying, quick and according to the word, that's what we're saying, and we're sitting there saying daily Lord daily, I'm following you Lord daily, see that's what we're doing. But let's see how close is going to get to, are we lying to ourselves, because you ain't lying to God, because God knows if you're lying, so I want to see something, we're going to check something, we're going to do a self-evaluation. Let us do a self-evaluation here. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 12, picking it up in verse 1. It said, now the Spirit of God has said unto Abraham, get thee out of the country, including from the kindred and from the father's house, into a land which he should show thee. What did he pose? Because that's my question to you. How many of you guys have sat there and seen a false doctrine push and holding to false thing push, and you sat there and even told you didn't sit there? See that in your head and you sitting there saying, well I'm gonna sit there, well my mama here, so I'm gonna stay here, my daddy here, I'm gonna stay here, my sister here, I'm gonna stay here, my brother here, I'm gonna stay here, my wife still here, I'm gonna stay here, my husband still he must stay here. Get thee out of that country, away from that kindred, away from that father's house. Third came to April, it came down to Abraham, and Abraham being obedient to the voice, and God quickened him according to the word, not to follow the works of the flesh of his father or his mother, so he took his wife and he fled into the wilderness. You see how this running, are you guys seeing how this going? It's not looking good for us, it's showing us that we're not even paying attention to the Bible. So he fled, as Hazard said, but we need to see more here, we got to see a little bit more here, because that's I said we're going to look at Revelation chapter 12. Let's go here to verse 12. Let us go to chapter 12 and look at something, and most of us gonna get it and some of us not, but that's okay, we're gonna break it all down anyway. It says, and she brought forth a man child. She brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. Her child was caught up unto God into his throne. So what is this saying? Because the biggest problem we have is what words mean in the Bible. Because we don't know what words mean, because we speak English is the flavor of England and we sit there guessing what words mean because right there where it says this right here brot. We'll sit there and say it mean all kind of stuff and brought me to bear to give birth to bring forth, that's all they're saying. She was to bring forth a man child, that's why he's saying it that way. You was to rule what part are we missing, what part we don't get here, what part we've been complicated on what part we not understanding. Here it says to rule all nation with the right of lion, and her child was to be caught up unto God in his throne, but he got some more. Here it says and the woman fled unto the wilderness. Now you see what's going on here. What went on with Abraham, he said, and she was in a place prepared of God, and they should feed her there 203 score days. I'll tell you something that's a parable right there and now. You now putting them together, go figure it out, because all the keys are there now based on all my teachings I've been doing the past couple of weeks. You got all the keys, you have every key you need to see what that was saying, every key you need to see exactly what that just said, but it's telling you this. So I had to sit there. This woman fled into the wilderness with her husband Abraham, and when she was the feed to learn to have this knowledge, and then our prayers are were willing upon the Lord to learn his laws and to where he can teach us his laws and his statutes. Getting from under the yoke to getting from under the yoke, from people getting from under this doctrine of people learning us, teaching us how not to be clean to and cleave into this flesh. In fact, let's look at something. Let's look at something here. We're going to get a little bit more here. Let's go over here to Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew. Look at some of you are the shouting that was talking about in Matthew chapter 11 picking up at verse 29. Matthew chapter 11 verse 29. And we're gonna sit there and we're gonna see what is saying right here. It says, take my yoke upon you, take my yoke upon you. And learn of me, take my yoke upon you and learn him. He says, for I am meek and lonely in heart, and ye shall find rest in your soul. But it is our soul cleaving to dust, so if we yoke ourselves with the Spirit, we can find rest, but if we cleave to dust we got a problem. But the same thing where we got caught up if we sit there saying we believe and we want to hold to the Bible. It's telling you right there are so cleave to the dust, but we said no quickness. O Lord, in the word I have declared my way, so we sit in there saying okay, if you don't declare your way, take your yoke upon me. And you're learning me. So it's the same way many of us are carnal thinker with a gentle mind. Even Paul spoke, but if you let the quicken our spirits and purify our hearts and our minds, you will sit there. I promise you we will sit there. You will send someone your way to do exactly what need to be done. In fact, let us look at some of this. Look at some of this. We're gonna go to Acts and we're gonna get some more information. We're gonna go to Acts, we're gonna pick it up at chapter 15 and we're going to drop down to verse 8. It says, in God which knoweth the heart bear them witness, giving them the Holy Ghost even. I didn't to us telling what even I had did to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob the Sam did to the other people in the body of Christ with Moses the same I did to people with the people who were walking around with you Howard shot the same I did with the people walking around with Peter I'll do the same thing for them I did for them I'll do it for you. Because he knows your heart so if we really want that and we don't declare that way we don't declared our way. And we've been sailing given even Putin some more we said 2 years me teach statue. This is what we've done and to tell you this and let's look at verse let's go down a little bit more in verse 9 verse 90 says and put no difference between us in them purifying their hearts by faith so we don't want no different treatment than between us and them and purifying their faith doors to do us the same way because I have declared my way in my way gonna be with you so if you did this we already have cleaved to this dust and ashes is telling us no we ain't doing this because I'm delete. No I'm gonna put this flesh to shame I'm putting this flesh to shame I'm putting this flesh to shame. And I'm gonna give honor to God what are you talking about Dali what do you say Dali I'm putting this flesh to shame I don't have time for it I don't have the time to play with the flesh. Time is of the essence and I don't have time to play with the flesh and it says this even in verse 10 it says now for that reason why ye tempt God so let's not tempt God and play this game because we already declared our way we already said quickness in that word we already said is sold Cleveland to dust and ashes so Lord we try to get rid of all this stuff and all we want to do is follow you. That's not Team God and he says plus I yoke of I upon a neck in the disciple which neither your fathers nor we are able to bear are you serious see? So learning the laws is not putting fleshly yokes upon anyone neck. I'm gonna say that again learning the laws of God is not putting fleshly yokes upon anyone neck. And seeing what they would do they would even sit there without for a fatter and what people do they'll put this unbearable yoke upon people that they couldn't bear and we are to learn of his promises and a promised God has done see God said this thing we want to make sure we clear on this all the way through I'm going to show you something God said and what we made sure of and what we are to do one people when we say daily when we say daily and you in your prayer in daily you putting your flesh to shame and you sitting there saying no God I put you in honor I'm putting you in honor that's what you're doing so when you look at these Psalms in chapter 8 and picking up in verse 17. It says this he says I love them that love me the same I said he promised them they promised me you promised me that you're going to you didn't declare your ways and you promised you're going to follow that way I'm going to promise you you're gonna be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people because all the earth belongs to me blessings gonna even overtake you the way you can't even get enough of every time you're trying to hide from a blessing. The blessings gonna come around the corner and slap you in the head because you're gonna be established a my holy people and all the people of the earth you're gonna be called by my name Israel. Israel you think about that you gonna sit there and you sitting there trying to hide up. Under the bed trying to hide from I just got so many blessings I need to hide and you gonna come up under the bed and slap you again with some more blessing. If you truly in your heart you sat there and you didn't remove yourself from the dust and the ashes and you had said had quickened me according to had said had quickened me according to the word and you didn't declare your way and you going that way and you're going to learn them statue of what he talked about he going to be slapping you with blessing. And just slapping you in with more blessing. But we have to be doing something on our side, we have to be doing something on our side because we got to get rid of the flesh. Get rid of the flesh. See what happens when we get down to verse 27 because he's telling us he's breaking this down. He says make me understand that way Lord I don't care what it takes any means necessary I need you to make me to understand the way of the precept. Lord I don't care what it takes do what you got to do what you do Lord I don't care what you get me. Right Lord you do it you make me right. My prayer is I have declared this way I'm going Lord if you go to kill me but you I need you to make me understand your precept if I don't get them put somebody in front of me Lord to where I can get it somebody ain't boasting about themselves and they boasting about you on what I need to be doing to get right to get to you make me understand it Lord. Make me understand the way of the precept. I don't care what it takes any means necessary you making me understand it I need to know it. I'm not Cleveland no more than no flesh Lord I'm done with that Lord I'm done with it I'm done with that I need to be quick than your word. I didn't declare the way that I'm going and I ain't changing my stand I'm not moving till you teach me your precept. You cannot lie and you say anything I ask in your name you will do and I need to know your precept Lord so I'm not moving. He says even more so I shall talk of the another which works talk the another which works of this. So now you're gonna see someone other what's and all this telling you is where now can't nothing hurt you because that people said well man you might get killed doing that man the dead is gained if I die again well it might let you live if I live again. Are you with me? Let's look at this I'm telling you you promised me he said I'm gonna promise you something you ain't gonna be able to hide for no blessing get rid of the flesh and watch me pull you off some blessings you can't handle I'm gonna put some blessings on you gonna work boy get rid of the flesh and let me show you how I work let's look at this. Luke chapter 10. We're going to look at this verse 19. Watch this watch how we playing this here. Luke 10:19. Daily just keep in mind the daily. Verse 19 he says remember you want to know my precept remember this I give you power to tread serpent and scorpion over the powers of enemies boy don't you play with me is what he said don't you play with me. Get rid of the flesh stop living in the flesh and you talking about you don't declare it this way. Boy I got something for you boy you won't have power to do these things and nothing shall be any means hurt you. Boy. Girl alright don't play with me it sweaty don't play with me go my way you want me. I got to can't nobody hurt then the another's works I'm going to do you're going to make the blind see I'm going to make you going to be able to make the lame walk and then il the sick you trailing apart you just trip just trading upon this serpent. I want you to think about something. I want you to truly think about this. Don't never forget this on anything. If you sit there and use the same way you see silhouette pictures, and if you walk into a church, you go into a church and then you sit there, you get that I'm thirsty and you're gonna get some water, you're gonna get some water, and then you gotta come back next week and get some more water because that water's gone, but then you get some more water and then the water gone, see, but the water that's given here is a whole different ball game of water. See, the water you get in here, you ain't gonna have to thirst for that same water again, because that water you do your proper studies through those precepts, you ain't thirsting that for that no more, because guess what, your thirst has been quenched, your thirst has been satisfied, your thirst, you don't need to thirst for that something no more. When that question is answered, that you ain't got to thirst for that no more, that thirst is taken care of, the thirst that you get here, oh no, we won't satisfy, we're gonna quest that thirst to where you ain't got to go through that thirst again. See, thirst is based on a need to know, and what they do they want to do on a need to know basis, based on what they know, and they're going to sit there, and so you got to come back every week, and you keep buying bottled water, just keep buying bottled water, and then somebody said, man, where you get that water, man, you come need to come get this water. Next thing, drink the water next week. Is thirsty by all means necessary, you need to learn the precept of God. You're saying it out your mouth, you holding on to this, in fact they even got more to it. See, what we got to remember is this, what we got to remember is this, I'm going to show you something, I'm going to show you something, what we got to remember, we're going to go to Psalm chapter 119, Psalm 119, and we're gonna pick it up at 104. Psalm 119,104, because it says something that's really clear to help us all out. See, this is why you ain't gonna thirst no more, so we moseying down here, it says, and through that precept in which we're learning according to this precept, and through that precept I get understanding, so therefore I'm not thirsty no more. Therefore I ain't thirsty no more, therefore I ate every false way, because every time I was drinking over there every week I get back Thursday and gotta go get some of the same water that I was drinking last week, and I'm still thirsty this week, but now I didn't drink this water, and guess what, I ain't thirsty for that no more, because I got the water that I needed and I'm cool. So if I thread for something else, I just come and just get some more water for that, I get some more water for that. See, this is what goes on. See, and we can behold this thing that's happening actually when you go back, we'll see something. Let's go back down to Psalm 119 verse 18. Let's look at this a little bit in more detail. In 18 it says, open by my eyes, open up my understanding, that I may behold another things out of till I got it structured in a way to where on see do this, you can sit there, you go run up on a blind person, people sit there with this man blind, no, you got some people completely blind from third blind Abba. But when you open up someone understanding, it actually makes them able to see. You have somebody that's lame and cannot work. You open up their understanding, they stand up and they can walk straight. Someone that is sick ain't talking about on the sick bed, but they sick and then they sit there. You teach them that all of a sudden they're not sick no more. See, the Bible tell you right here is clear, it says, open to my understanding, that I may behold the wondrous ways, that I may remember the wondrous things out of that loss, because it's telling you all together on what we need to be doing when we tell you right here in verse 4. The same place to has commanded us to keep that precept diligently, and these are things you want to learn. We declared our ways and said we're going to go go the way of the Lord, so if we don't declare this way we need to make sure that we're following the Lord to his maximum ability to what we can do. We ain't cleave to this flesh no more, we already said my soul cleave it to dust in, but I ain't doing that no more, quaking me in that word. I didn't declare my way, Lord, I ain't changing. Do what you got to do with me, do what you got to do with me, Lord. If whatever you got to do it, this is the way we need to be, this is how we need to be looking at everything. Let's look at this, let's look at something, let's look at verse 28. My soul melted for healthy heaviness. I'm telling you, my soul, from being in church to church, my soul now is melting for heaviness, then lay more burden because all heaviness means these burdens. We need to build this church, we need $5.4 million, we need you guys to start dropping some dollars. Bernice on top of burdens, burdens on top of burdens, telling you to build this place called the Church of God, and the first thing that they want to do, the Church of God. First thing they're going to say, God needs this house built. First thing I sit there and say, where God was money at, tell God to put up some money. You wanted to be, I helped build it, but he needed to put up the money because God said right there. He said in Haggai chapter 2 verse 8, he said, for the gold is and silver here says the Lord, so he said, oh, he got all the money out, so why am I put in my few dollar, why I'm gonna put my few dollar in to build this church? He want people to come to him, they ain't coming to me, so why you want me to put up my money? Actually go get God on the line, get him on line, let me talk to him, I need to talk to God. Do you see the silliness on how this goes? Well, we need to have this food towards God. God said all the cattle upon 1,000 hills belong to him, let us go to Guy's house and get one of them cows, let's go to the geese house and get a goat, let's go there get a sheep. He said these those are his, so they hear. He said all them blown to him. He said in fact if he was hungry he wouldn't tell us, so why he telling to get somebody for somebody else? So if he want us to supply these people, don't you think he should supply them to food? So tell me where God stay at and let me go get it. But what they want to do is put these burdens on you. They're going to keep putting these burdens and burdens and burdens upon you. This is what they do. It tell you right here, it's telling you right here in 28, my soul melted for heaviness, my soul melted for heaviness. Let us look at something. I want to show you something that we look at all together. We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 58, Isaiah chapter 58. We're going to look at something 58 and verse 6. It says this and it makes it clear. It says is not this the fast that I have chosen, Lord, is this what he signed up for, Lord, is this what he signed up for? It says to loose the bands of the wicked, of the wickedness, to the undo the heaviness, Lord, that's what I was signing up for, and to let the oppressed go free, and that he break every yoke, Lord, ain't that. Wait a minute, look, can I talk to you, Lord? Look, can I talk to you for a second? I thought I was out of this, but I went from I didn't have to pay that much, but now I went over here to this building, and now you talking about you trying to build a church cost $25 million, and they want me to dedicate and make sure that I make a pledge of paying at least $300 a month for the next 5 years. Lord, I thought that I was done with that. Maybe you don't see this the question that should be asked, and then they talk about they need at least 50 a week to help feed the other people in the church. You just said in your words that all the beasts belong to you. Can't you supply about 2 cows every week? See, you got a question this thing for yourself to see how the silliness goes on in the church. This thing that you see that Dell tell you it's not wickedness and that's pure wickedness, it's telling you right there in the verse itself, it says right here it's not this the fast that I have chosen, so when you chosen to go into this place have not this is what you chosen to lose the bends or the wickedness but you going into more wickedness. They want to look at your W2 second, let me see how much you make, let me see you make pretty good money, so we looking for you, we're looking for you to give this amount of money every week, or if you want to write a check every month. You don't kick that with the wicked to the wicked, then what they do, they didn't change it up, now they sit there and help you. Donation, if you appreciate what you heard, donate something, give something, donate, they don't, they won't say you. Just see that donation but donate something. And the burden is actually oppression. See, they gonna tell you to buy all this stuff, do all these things, and they're not gonna do nothing. Actually I'm gonna show you this because they don't do nothing, and people, that's my pastor and that's my power, that's my pastor. So in a number, I mean Matthew chapter 23 verse 4, it says for they buy heavy burdens in grievous to be bored and lay them on men's shoulders, they land them on you, but this is what the Lord wants, tell me they don't do this, you won't get lay on every burden. People I like being in the church, they like laying every burden on you, well I just not me the Lord, this is what the Lord wants, really get the Lord on yours. Actually I call him on my cell phone. Give me his number, I need to talk to him because he's sitting there. It was a lady, she gave her last dollar and God ain't saying nothing, so I don't know if I'm being hoodwinked or is God a robber. He said they lay heavy burdens upon you, and he said but they themselves, let's look at it, it's telling you right here. For they buy heavy burdens and grievous to buy board and lay them on men's shoulder, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers, they ain't moving nothing. Have you ever seen the prayer where they've given their giving money for the preacher in the dump, preacher up there writing the check himself, he gonna put it on, and then y'all saying, boy look at him, he paying his money just so petty on top of stupidity, getting the money back. We can't get our own way. These men in these churches binding all these grievous things upon you, they lifting the finger to do nothing. In fact you got a preacher, I know I ain't going to bring his name up, but my wife she don't know what I'm talking about because she's going to say, well I knew you're going, but I'm going to tell you what he did. The church needed a new roof, they needed a new roof, and they want to raise money to build this to put the roof on the church. It dwindled it down, dwindling it down to where he wanted to have him do patchwork. He don't want to spend the money, so you just have him do patchwork on that. The roof, he made the same people pay for the roof for his church, for his house. And on his house the man wanted 30 grand to put the roof on his house. He didn't argue, didn't fuss, he didn't try to wiggle him down, he just made him pay it. You tell me they say they see is God, you got a God house that they say it is that he want a nickel and diamonds. House ain't nickel and diamond, you tell me who they say God is, see, because they say the Gis house is God's house. Now you know they lying, because they just did the preacher for 30 million and they still missing a roof to this day they still missing a roof. So is God to them see they'll tell you they don't worship him but that's telling you right there that's who they worship, because they making sure he's set up. See these are the signs to where we see once you come to the resurrection and you see where the resurrection where your eyes are being open now you can be blinded but now you can see was laying but now you can walk you were sick and you was even dead but once you come to the truth now you have the power to see and you can walk away clearly you're no longer lame you no longer need assistance you no longer can walk you now you can walk on your own you're not deaf no needing nobody to do sign language to you see so when you sit there and you read the scripture then you find something that's been found in there and you sit there and say I won't tell you what I can't read this I don't understand this I don't know what's going on and you come to the really actual truth and saying I tell you what I truly don't understand the scriptures I truly don't understand them so what it does he set it up. He says I'm gonna give you pastor according to my heart that will feed you with knowledge and understanding this is what I'm gonna do. He set this up beautifully and actually I'm going to show you an example of this I want to see I want to show you an example of this I want to make sure we get this all together we're going to look at Acts and we're going to look at chapter 8 Acts 8 and we're gonna drop down to verse 30. We're going to see an example of this and I want to show you this so where we can see something the same things what we want to do when you choosing to go a certain way we want to make sure that we holding on to it and what we're going to see is this here actually let me go up a little bit just so we can get it it says let me go up to 27. Okay we're going to go down to verse 30 but let's go to 27. It says and Rosen they went and remember a man of Ethiopia eunuch and not a man who was castrated. It mean a chief that soul that mean but people well that's a homosexual that's a man that's castrated that's Ali. That's a chief that's a leader that's why I said a eunuch a great authority under Candace the queen of the Ethiopian who had charge. People going to little but watch out he goes on more he says and all the treasure and had come to Jerusalem for their ship was returning and sitting on his chariot read Elias the prophet but watch what happened and the Spirit said unto Philip the Spirit said unto Philip go near and join myself to this chariot I want you to go to that other chariot and sit there because this guy is doing something don't know what he's doing but this guy gonna be honest enough to be to tell him what's going on watch what happened in verse 30 it says Philip rent it there to him and heard him read the prophet Elias and said understand what to read is he said they say now hey my brother Dave do you understand what you're reading do you truly understand what you're reading do you get it see what we have a lot of people sit there they'll always sit there down well I understand it but then they want to play the fence role and sit there and say they understand what to read then you get that's what I meant no you're lying you didn't understand it the first time but you want to sit there always want to hold when you're never and you always want to sit there act like you're right you want to play this fence role you're on the fence and you want to sit there and act like you know and you didn't know like you know and you didn't know asking do you know what you're reading. And he said how can I accept some man should give me any desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. He desired Philip to come up because do you know what you read see many people don't know what they're reading they don't know the parables they don't know the dark sentence nothing but they'll tell you they don't. And you just sat there and you said that you didn't declare your way and you sitting there you then cleaved the dust and you still stay in the dust. And your soul gonna always be melted for heaviness always because you're sitting there trying to understand the ways of the precept and you don't get it. Let us look at a little bit more here. It says remove from the way of lying, remove from the way of lying, exactly the point lying. Want to lie everything, remove from lying. In fact, let's look at the whole thing and granite metilo. Graciously, how can somebody do that? And you want to sit there and hold on to Alice it tell you this, and let's look at something all together. I want to show you something here on what all goes on here in today's time. In year 2021 we're gonna look at 2 Timothy, we're gonna go to chapter 3, we're gonna pick it up at verse 2. We're gonna pick it up at verse 2. Why? Because I want you to see something. I wanna show you something that's clear. It says, for men shall be lover of their own self. Telling you this covet to boast, proud, blaspheme, disobedience to parents, unsectful knowledge. This is what they do. Boast of themselves. You see some of the dumbest men they'll sit there and say, man, I've been teaching the Bible for 20 years or 30 years also. You've been dumb for that long. Well, I've been preaching for this long. Okay then, and what have you been preaching doesn't matter. Oh, I've been preaching for 50 years also. You've been dumb for 50 years. I had the man he wanted me to join force with him, and since I wouldn't any actually got checked doing it, he said that how somebody's going to tell him what's wrong, and he been teaching long I've been alive. Okay then, and what you're still wrong, you didn't change it, you knew it was wrong because you couldn't refute it. See, and they something they boast, proud, blaspheme, disobedient to parents, unsectful knowledge. Sans perce that but it gets better. It says without natural affliction, truth breakers, false accusé in contention. Are you serious? In contention you got fools out here right now doing the same thing. Doesn't mean they lack in self-control or they have senseless behavior. You have one dude so ignorant of something really said. Now we don't gonna expose the breaths doctrine that Henry Stevenson. I'm gonna suppose that her breast doctor, her brain don't even have a doctor, it's a profession. Senseless behavior, lacking self-control, stupidity on top of stupidity. See, they be in the of those who are good at telling you already in the space of those who are that are good at telling you even more traitors. Heavy-minded lovers of pleasures and more lovers of God. This is what they do. This is what they do, and it tell you even more in verse 5. Having a form of godliness, want to come like they're all clean on the outside, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away, but all of us well know I like me. Like him, I like him, and I'm gonna listen to him, and I like him. It's alright with my book. It's something I don't agree with really. Where he go you go, where he go you go. See, and it says more right here in 1 Timothy. We was in 2, but we're going to go to 1 because he is proud, knowing nothing. Nothing boast of himself, he is proud, but doubting about question and strife forwards will come if and this strife. Rally evil, submersion, perverse, disputing of being of corrupt mind and destitute Donald. They can't even find the truth if they were looking for it. And they're going to place heavy burdens upon you, and then you talk about remove from lying, removing lying. How you going to remove from that from you, and you were the guy destitute of the truth, supposing against godliness. From such without himself and the first thing we want to do is stay with him from such withdraw that self and we want to stay with him. See the same thing is when you're so destitute of the truth you even at these same men who are sitting there seeing the truth coming to them right in front and you can see even what happened with Moses when you had Janice and Jean-Boru when they said that when the truth came actually we won't tell you what actually that's let's look I'm gonna show you something let me move this let me show you something actually I can do it because it's over here we're going to look at verse 8. I'm going to show you something I'm going to show you something show you just how people get. Let me see. Okay, let us look at this and meaning first in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 8 it says now at Janice and Jean-Boru. Whistler of Moses this is telling you about a story that happened when Moses and them came with the snake and they said that they pull the rod down actually let me pull it all up because I'm gonna show you so you won't sit there think I'm trying to pull something over on you because these are the same two guys who did what you see where they want to show you things on what happened Dima show them to you where you and what from here on out so it's telling it says when Pharaoh spake unto them saying show a miracle for you and to shall say unto Aaron take the rod and cast it before Pharaoh and it shall become a serpent this is what this conversation is over here that's what this conversation is about over here so it became certain and Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said unto him command it had commanded and Aaron cast down the rod before Pharaoh and before the servant and he became a serpent and Pharaoh called his wise men which was in the sorcerers now in the magicians of Egypt and they did in a like manner in their enchantment now you see what happened watch this for they cast down every man his rod and it became serpent but Aaron rod swallowed up their rod you see how we saying they swallowed up their rod that's what this is talking about over here so we're going to see what happened here on what went down we need to see what's going on here what went down so it says now Janice and Jean-Boru that's why it has them too withstood Moses so do these also resist the truth because they brought the truth to them but they didn't want to hold on to it because even in their names itself it's showing you who they are because Janice is full of prejudice and to be oppressed and we got Jamer the oppressor and basically is tied to the sea of poverty to the people of poverty which is going to lay heavy burdens upon you based on what he does so they're corrupting everything that they do so it tell you this in verse 9 it says but they shall proceed no further for their folly shall be made known unto all men as there also was so. It's telling you no matter what everybody going to see how senseless you are and how big of liars you are because the main thing it goes right back to is go back to actually let's look at it all together we want to look at this all together and see this all together let's go back to some we're going to go back to some then get this all together some 119 and we're going to go to 104. Because I want you to see this I'm going to make sure God put it in your face it says and through the precept I get understanding for that reason I hate every false way so make me understand my precept that I may talk that wonders works so we want to be granted these things and that in every false way it's not complex then when we do this I said when we want to do is one word is going to sit there and he going to just lay it on you. In fact let us look at this let us look at it all together we're going to go back to X we're going to look at 33. X is 33 then we're going to look at something X is 33 then we're going to pick it up at 19. X is 33 then 19. He says this. It says and he said I will make all my goodness pass before the end I will proclaim the ways of the Lord the Spirit of God before thee I will be gracious to whom I would be gracious I will show mercy to whom I will show mercy he will lay it down and lay it down upon you we gonna lay this sin down upon you are you with me on this see you see what's going on and then when you're sitting there he gonna show you grace and mercy and do all these things upon you for you so when you see this you understand what's going on and you see right here in verse 30 it tell you the same thing because it's telling you remove from me that way of lying and grant me that white grace graciously and he said I'ma show it to you if you truly want it in your heart I'm gonna show it to you don't worry about it and once I start showing it to you the more you be with me the more I'ma lay on you. Verse 30 says I have chosen the way of truth I've chosen the way of truth so if you've chosen the way of truth then you need to draw to God. You have to draw to God it's telling you all the way through on what we need to do so when we look at Sirach chapter 51 it makes it clear. It makes it clear for us in 51 verse 23 what it says what it says it's real clear. It says draw near unto me and learn and dwell in the house of learning dwell ye. Unto the house of learning see because we is a man sitting and knowing when he's not knowing what to read and listen learn he can sit with someone who is learned and he can dwell in the house and now we can take the yoke of Christ and he can learn of him. She said this we're going back and repeating some of the same things where you just know what he was saying from the beginning and he'd been saying this the entire time and we had always sat there and tried to think about something else and not seeing what we're supposed to be saying trying to hold on to flesh trying to cleave the flesh when we need to remove the flesh and we're not removing the flesh. So it's something in Matthew chapter 11:29 it says again take my yoke upon you in learning. Me teach me precept teach me the statute. Teach me these things so once we learn this we can stop cleaving to this flesh and we're going to blow out everything according to the flesh everything according to the flesh now everything according to the flesh is now going to get blotted out because we're not doing no works of the flesh. So it can't do nothing to us that's why I say whatever it takes do it God I want you to make sure I'm good. So if we take this and we blow those things out I'm gonna show you all you gotta do is blow them out block this stuff out and we can get rid of this stuff we can get rid of all these works of the flesh in Colossians chapter 2 pick it up at verse 14. It says this it makes it clear it says blotting out the handwriting of ordinance that was against us which is things according to the flesh because we're cleaving to dust but we said quick and mighty word so we want to get out rhythm ordinance that is against the flesh we don't want to be clicked in flesh because the flesh got a problem then it says which was contrary to us because it's so contrary to me I don't know if it's contrary to you but it's so contrary to me and if it's contrary we got to take this out the annihilate to this cross and with that cross it's telling you something the same thing again with your celestial was telling you nothing until it's suffering unto his death that's all. It's saying it's nothing complex so if you're going to sit there we got to nail that to the cross and every morning we get up we got to make sure we kill that. We're going to look at it we're going to look at this we're going to look at this all together in Luke chapter 9 and picking it up at verse 23 making sure this is perfectly clear for each and every one of us to understand it says and he said to them all if any man will come after me let him deny himself and take up his cross
daily.
Daily if any man gonna come after him let him take up his cross daily. And follow me. And follow me is making this so clear to where we can't get around it making it so clear we need to make sure we understand what he's saying all together so we had to follow him and pick it up see everybody said that. Well, I'm covered under the blood of Jesus. Okay, is telling you out is the one mount. You have to deny yourself, you have to deny that flesh, you have to deny that and pick up your cross yourself unto death and you follow him. But all of us don't want to do that's why all of us not going to make it because we put in everything everybody else. Let us look at this in 1 John chapter 3 pick it up at verse 19 and we're gonna make some more stuff real clear it says and where we know that we are of the truth including the shall assure our hearts before him. We're going to answer this how can we do this we're going to show you a couple of things to which you make sure you keep in your pocket you keep these things in your pocket and you'll be alright all the time but you got to make sure you following him in John chapter 17 picking up at verse 17 it says this we're going to look at this real good and we're going to say it says sanctify them through the truth so we got to be sanctified through the word it says 40 words. The word is the truth you are not sitting there talking about when a man sitting there using one verse and then he proceeded to tell you anything you want to tell you from that point that's not truth that's him teaching you philosophy. And then when something jive with what you want to say all of a sudden listen look at this forsake not assembling of yourselves. Oh would a man rob God because it's driving with what is getting ready to tell you he wants some money there he don't forsake someone who says make sure you come back next week. Sanctify them in truth and you make sure you understand that see because we know there is true. Because it is proven time and time again in Psalm 119 again we're going to go there again in Psalm 119 we're going to look at 142. See what it says there some already know this by heart. It says righteousness is an everlasting righteousness until is the truth. That law is the truth and you being guided in the same thing so when you say anything when you look at even with says and you go to John says and you look at verse 13 it's going to tell you the same identical thing what happens here in 13 it says but when is the spirit of truth is come he will guide you unto all truth when the spirit of truth come he will guide you to all truth. He will guide you to all truth so we know this and now we know it so clear so when you look at this into 1 John chapter 3 verse 20 it says, for in our hearts condemn us so we need to condemn this dust we need to condemn this flesh eater. Then our hearts and know of all things you always remember that and don't forget it that's why I said you got to keep this in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket. And he says beloved if our hearts condemn us not, then we have confidence towards God that's a serious statement there is the truth is to guide us so it's meaningless it says if our hearts condemn us according to the flesh then we have confidence towards God so we can't have confidence in the flesh at all none. So we're looking at this in its fullness and understanding what's going on so it's saying this in this last. Few we know which that requirement is we know what that requirement is because it's telling you right here it says he has taken till the testimony of Spirit of God pu me not to shame don't pu us to sit and don't pu my soul to shame the flesh. I'm already putting the shame daily Lord I'm putting my flesh to slay but I'm not putting your honor to shame that's the point so we know we need to do this and we know this need to be done so when we see this all together we know what we have done when we said this all together in the same simut. We are going to see here actually in Exodus chapter 19. We want verse 8 it says and all the people answered together and said all that the Lord has spoken we will do. All that the Lord has spoken we will do so if we know this and we're going to hold to that's what we got to hold to don't sit there and let nobody change you from this don't let nobody sit there and bubble thank you rude winky from anything because it's telling you this and it's making sure that you know if you know God and you're gonna sit there and say remember God is my salvation and you know that and you're not gonna change nothing you want him to change you the way you can know his precept and you got a lot of people going to tell you they know precept and they actually don't know him and he said and I would trust and not be afraid for the Lord Jehovah is my strength in my soul also become my salvation that word. So we have the freedom to do what we need to do when it came to free us from all sin but we have to be doing something for him. We have to be doing something for him see let's look at this all together let's look at this all together and understand how this is actually working out for us. We're going to go to Hebrews chapter 10. We're going to look at verse 7. It says then said he remove and just say you whatever your name and you put your name there he said lo I come. In the volume of the book it is written to me whatever you say in this book it is written to you. To do it will God that's what you got to make sure whatever it takes from the beginning. Daily whatever it takes daily you get rid of this flesh and you sit there now Lord I need you Lord I don't care what you do make me understand this precept make me get it you got somebody who know it. Plus I mean I need to know it Lord. So when you sit there and you can say that you come to do the will of God you know this that's clear a day so you'll see some part that there saying that people use incorrectly so many times we'll see this in Matthew chapter 5 and pick this up Matthew 5 and verse 17. It's going to tell you something we're going to see all together 5:17 to tell you it says think not that I come to destroy the law don't ever think that the come to destroy the law the Lord didn't come we gonna come destroy the law and it was spoken by God think about that are you think he gonna destroy something that was spoken by God or the prophets the mouth of God how do you think he gonna come do that how do you think they're gonna come down and destroy what he said that would make him a blasphemy that'll make him a hypocrite. He said I'll come not to destroy but to fulfill and that's what we got to make sure we do so we're going to do these things we make sure we do them correctly daily in fact let's look at something we're going to look at Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12 and it's telling us it's really clear here when we look at this and it's telling what's required of you and he said that make me understand what's going on so you make me he said and now Israel what do the Spirit of the God requires he make me understand Lord he need to understand what I need to do he says but the desire the Spirit of the God to walk in all his ways and to promise him and to serve the Spirit of the God with all the heart and all the soul wait so with that soul that was clicked to the dust you want me to click down to this yes that's what I want you to do okay so I need to sit there and do just the volume of the book yes that's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do in fact let's look at something We're going to look at even Leviticus chapter 19 verse 18. Something else that's required of us that we just know we need to make sure we're doing it says to shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of the people but to shalt love I shall promise the neighbor at thyself I am the Spirit of God so we know we got to do that also but we got to still remember what we are we still have to remember exactly what we are because it never change because until we are completely separated from this flesh. We in this fight and we might be in this fight for years, so you got to stand fast on what you believe. In Genesis chapter 18 picking up in verse 27 it says this and makes this even better for us. It says in Abraham answers that says remember now I have taken upon me to speak unto this the Creator. But watch what it tell what is which but dust and ashes. Tally that soul is nothing more than dust and ashes. This is even coming from my Father. Abraham, so we have to if we are going to sit there and we want to be righteous within the city. I sit in there if he finds the 50 righteous in the city, that is dust and ashes where you destroy the city. Because he's telling you right here in verse 32 this making sure this is clear. He says I will run the way of the commandments when it shall enlarge my heart because we are nothing but dust and ashes. Dali we so we're gonna get rid of that and do this sin together, so hopefully that you guys got some understanding from this and that we continue, but we're going to go in the back in the classroom and we're going to look at some other scriptures that we were working with just the other day, so we're going to go through those and then I do know we have a couple of people supposed to be signing up for this for the school, so we'll be looking forward for you in the back to where we can get your information. But if you sit in there and we'll be picking this up to make sure that you completely get what's going on, and delete is what it is, delete telling you exactly what it's doing. Is nothing complex, but they have lead to you on what it is. They tell you it's the tent door, they tell you all kind of stuff, the door they tell you all kind of stuff and not telling what it actually is and what it means. This is why it's so important to watch who you learn under, because they're going to give you words that's not that don't mean anything else but what it is, because that leads the honor and shame. So you have to come yourself to the humble, you have to humble your flesh so you can be quickened by the word of God. It's the whole focus of everything, so if you look down in the description you can see where you can go over into the Zoom area. If you look in the description area you can sit there and see that there and you see where you can click. It says join the live meeting and we're going to be going through some of the stuff that we went through the other day, so with that you know hopefully we'll be picking up with my brave song tomorrow and hopefully you guys can join with that, and well we got Wednesday we will be doing proverb, so hopefully that you guys continue on, but until then I say to each and every person, so until next time I say to each and everyone shalom. So. You